Welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast. Your three lovable yet maybe a little aloof dudes are back at it again, as we usually are. Today, we talk about how Star Wars Battlefront absolutely tried to ransack an entire group of people. You know, fans who have been waiting for a good Battlefront game and still haven't gotten it. And they probably still didn't get it, even though the game that got released came out a really long time ago.
Yeah.
We talk a little bit about Mr. Fruit's Elden Ring adventures and how backseating ruins games, and so does min maxing. We talk some about the Overwatch skins and how that became a huge meme, and how Ruben tried to get us back into Overwatch, but Overwatch somehow clutched defeat from the jaws of victory. We get into a couple of tangents, as we often do, and honestly, I've already forgotten where those tangents went. So you're gonna have to follow us along in that adventure as well. And then we catch up a lot on Q&A, get a good couple Q&A sessions in, and otherwise, it's just kind
And
of us
Blue
vibing.
poops his pants.
Oh man, and
He
then
Joins
did.
Robin.
Blue doesn't have quite the poop story that Rob does, but Blue does also have a little bit of a gym adventure that involves my ass. So if you like that stuff for free,
Oh, free.
then stay tuned.
This episode of the GG Over Easy podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. What would you do if you had an extra hour in your day? How would you take advantage of it? Would you try and squeeze something in that you normally don't find the time for? I think everybody should try and find time for some therapy. If therapy is important to you, then you will find that hour. Therapy can help you find what matters to you so you can do more of it. My time with BetterHelp, they taught me so many things and what matters to me, especially gaming. It was always hard for me to distinguish my work time and gaming time, that I needed to keep gaming my hobby instead of just always having it just be a job. Big shouts out to BetterHelp for that. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Learn to make what makes you happy with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GG today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GG. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast, episode 221. In today's episode, it's another week to spend with all of you. Spend whispering sweet nothings into your ears.
That is
and
what we
gracing
do
your
on this
eyeballs.
podcast. We are an ASMR podcast. That's why people listen.
ASMR, insightful, deep, thought-provoking. That was the most recent Apple review I saw. Pretty spot on, if you ask me.
That is not
Which,
bad.
by the way, feel free to leave a review. When was the last
Yeah, we
time?
haven't said that in a while.
The
Leave a review,
only
that helps.
69 rated star review on Apple Podcasts.
I heard
We
that.
haven't wherever you listen to your podcast.
Eh.
I heard Spotify does video now, but
Really?
also that not many people do it. Yeah,
I
guess
would
you couldn't
figure
do video
like,
podcast, but
I mean, I could upload it on there, but how many people would watch it on Spotify? I don't know. Maybe more people would. I doubt it though. Like that kind of seems like the kind of app like nobody
yeah, if
asked
you're
for
using
this.
that,
Like,
then yeah, odds are
That's
you're
a really
not sitting there and
easy,
watching.
easy
Yeah.
swap over to the old YouTube, and it probably runs far better on your phone than Spotify does. So,
But regardless, we're glad you're here in whatever capacity that may be,
yeah.
because it's another day on God's cold earth. It is
I mean,
so
it's cold here. Could be like
What we like to
it's summer
refer
in
to
Australia.
as the cold left nut of God himself.
When it's God's telling Rob, I don't know what the heater's doing.
Yeah.
Supposed to be 67. It's 61 in the house right now.
But your internal heater is still running, right? So you're like
Yeah,
heating.
but like my fingies, they have bad circulation. They're like frozen right now. I can't
Is
feel
it
them.
like frigid, like snow, or what are we talking? Like,
Yeah, I got 2.5 feet of snow outside right now.
holy
Yeah.
fuck!
Which is crazy because
Oh.
like we live probably about an hour and a half away from each other, and I got maybe like 5 or 6 inches, like nothing too crazy.
That's about average.
It's
Yeah.
coming down. I've heard that's average. I've heard that's enough.
That's about average.
Meanwhile, yeah, we got. I don't have a great picture.
You posted like You haven't posted like one recently about. If you send me the picture, I'll post it like in like the. Or I'll
Well, so
do the
like,
scene change.
yeah, I'll
That
try and
way
send you
people
this.
can
I mean,
see it
this
all
was just
big.
this was this morning when they went out to potty. You can't really see it. So she's on a
Yeah.
raised bed, but like for instance, those trees are
Or
like
20 feet.
5 feet or something, or 6 feet. Yeah, and the snow's almost going up to the top of the fence and whatnot. It's just an absolute fiesta. So
Probably our last snowstorm, hopefully, of the year. We've had a pretty decent winter though. It has not been very bad.
true. It waited until
Which is a little
yesterday.
weird and scary, but also like sick, because then like I don't like the snow. So
We're all
sorry, future
like,
generations.
Like global
Yeah,
warming, not tight, but like this winter, maybe a little tight.
Yeah. Short term, awesome. I'm really down for this. Long term,
and the bizarre
you
thing
know.
too is I posted like, man, I already got a feet. We got like another feet coming and stuff. People are like, dude, so jealous. Send that over here. I'm like, why?
I swear,
Like I could
people
get
that
some
say that,
snow, but
like,
people don't understand. Cause like at that point, it's not like, ooh, it's snow. This is a hindrance, and I'm gonna be snowed in for a couple days. It's not like ha 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 ha. Ooh, yay.
have you been going to the gym or no?
No, I can't. Can't leave. So after this podcast, you can use the snowblower Claire got for Christmas. Clutch.
Did you get
try
her
and
it for
clear out.
Christmas, or did someone get it for her for Christmas?
She got it for us.
Oh, okay.
It's like a gift for us.
Yeah, that's a good adult gift. I'd
Yeah.
be stoked.
Yeah, those are the gifts I appreciate now. That like I've never been so stoked to get stuff like that and like underwear and socks. Because she knows if she doesn't buy them for me for Christmas, I don't get any.
I got a fresh pair right here that Sydney just got from Target the other day.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah,
Same with like undershirts and stuff.
Shout out
she got
True
me
Classic.
some workout. Hey, I'm wearing True Classic.
Oh.
Wow. She got me some workout shirts. I think 6.5 years ago. These are still the same shirts I wear to work out. And I told her, I'm like, they're getting dirty, but unless you buy some, I'm gonna forget, and I'm just gonna keep wearing these.
Yeah. When it comes to buying new clothes, I don't buy new clothes. Like when I went to we had that gym arc. We're still in our gym arc, but I had to go get shorts.
Okay.
And yeah, so yeah,
oh, that dumpy.
I
see you already getting legs.
Look at that.
Okay.
Nike.
All right. Okay, Rob.
But
all
so
right.
like I went to like Dick's and I was like, I'll get some shorts there, bro. I'll get some nice
you
shorts.
have to emphasize
They were
dicks like
$50.
that.
I went to
Let's keep going.
They were $50 for like pairs of shorts. I was like, that is insane. So you know where I went? Plato's Closet. If you got one of them, Plato's Closet is so clutch. I bought like 7 of these things, and
I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was like a sex shop.
It's like $26. You never been to Plato's Closet? It's like,
no, I thought I always heard like radio ads. I thought it was like a lingerie thing.
No, it's like hey, like we buy like lightly used clothes, and like it's kind of like a Goodwill, but like a step up. Yeah, it's like a
okay.
It's like if Goodwill is Walmart, Plato's Closet is Target.
We went to Goodwill Wednesday, drop some stuff off because we are getting rid of a lot of stuff, and it was one of the funny things where we get up and we get out, and then the storm's coming, and so we haven't really said anything to this guy, but he's like, "All right, thanks. Get inside now. Stay warm."
Yeah,
and I was like, "You too, man. Even though you're
Do
here
you
at
want to
work,
slip for your you want to slip for your tax write-off?
Stay warm, man."
Yeah. Well, I think I said it after my acid incident. I had to do 24 hours of community service, and I waited till like the last 24 hours to do it. So I did like a 20-hour shift at at Goodwill, just unloading people's shit.
Classic.
Yeah,
you would.
I messed up my back so hard though. There's like a guy who's like donating a love seat. The shit you see people donate is insane. I'll never forget it. He was like on the truck and I was like, all right, yeah, like bring it down. And like I grabbed it and my back just went. And like the next like 2 days I was literally walking like, oh, it was so bad. This is the worst back pain I've ever had.
That's crazy. That's me every day. That's me walking around the house.
Speaking of the worst things, we had one of I will probably say one of the worst game launches we've seen in a while. I feel like these come up maybe once every 3 months. A game comes out
pretty regularly,
and I guess maybe every month. Every month, one game comes out that everyone's excited for that just stinks. And I got nostalgia baited. I won't lie. The Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. Not to be confused with Battlefront 1 or Battlefront 2 or Battlefront, like whatever it was, the other one.
I'm gatekeeping. The real 1 and 2 Battlefront, okay?
Yeah, the real ones.
Real shit. Let them know.
It came out this weekend to mostly negative reviews due to bugs, crashes, server issues, and borderline unplayable multiplayer mode. One of the Steam users writes, "It's probably one of the worst launches of all time. None of us can get in a game, and there are only 3 servers." Now, you may be asking yourself, huh? Like 3 servers, that's not enough. There were 10,000 people playing on launch night. The game only had 3 servers that had 64 total slots. The multiplayer doesn't work otherwise. You can't like join like a group or something like that before you go into it and go into like a I watched Joey and Skull play co-op split screen in the year 2024. Like that's not that's not okay. I literally went to Joey's stream and he's playing half of his screen. Yeah. Like that's not okay. Like this is 2024 and I'm just sick and tired of getting nostalgia baited.
They do have more servers now. It was an issue the night of. So like you're still like, wow, there's still only 200 something slots. No, there's more now, but yeah, like excuse me, the fact that it came out like that.
So this is my
it's also like I think 60 gigs.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. Like one of my biggest gripes is if you look at like Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2 individually, I think like Battlefront 1 is like 6 gigs and the other one is like 11 or something like that. This game wants 62 gigs and then 12 more gigs for the so it's about like 70-ish gigs. For what? Like I could not. I was literally like, oh,
textures. There's no shot unless like somebody messed up exporting those. Like those are not compressed apparently. Because the textures aren't that crazy. And also, it should be noted, you can't play multiplayer on the first. Only the second. Only the second one got multiplayer or whatever, which I don't know why. It's just like the most insane cash grab. There's like almost no, I don't think like really any quality of life changes, UI changes. All the key bindings and stuff like that seem to just be wonky or bugged. Like the crazy thing is you can still buy the original Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 on Steam. Why is this here? Aside from the fact that now it can be easier possibly to play multiplayer, but it's just like, huh?
Yeah, and like
this is crazy.
This is how you know it was bad. When a game is bad and I buy it, I'm normally like, well, that's my fault. I should have known that. I literally was like, I'm refunding this. Like, I'm not going to get any sort of enjoyment out of this. That's almost like my food coming to me and me actually complaining about my food being like cold. I don't do that. Normally I go, well, that's my fault. Like maybe I should have ordered a little bit sooner, or this is just kind of, unless it's like one of my friends' foods or like Sydney's food, then I'm like, hey, fix their food. Yeah. But like for me, I'm like, whatever. But this was like awful. And like, I just felt like, I don't know, man, so taken advantage of, like my own nostalgia, just getting nostalgia baited like so hard. Because like Battlefront 1 and 2, the OGs, are some of my favorite gaming experiences like ever. And I thought I was going to be able to have that again for just like a day maybe. And I'll pay $35 to feel like a kid again, for 4 hours.
I'll do anything.
And instead, I felt like a fucking malding 30-year-old like I am. So I'm so sick of these nostalgia baiting games. And it just makes me hate gaming. Like, this is what like pisses me off about gaming, when we're just looked at as a dollar sign. And I hope people start refunding it, man, because it is actually still pretty bad. Like, we also haven't talked about like the lag in game. Moist Critical put up a really good video about it too. where he shows like his gameplay experience and stuff, and people are just like jumping all over the place and stuff. It's just an awful experience.
I almost got baited myself into getting it just from watching somebody boot up the main menu. And it has little clips of all the movies, and I'm like, bro, I'm back there. Like, this is crazy. Yeah, and then I watched, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I got my fill, thanks.
I kept watching Joe, and he goes, I bet this was sick in 2005. And I was like,
fuck you,
it
Joey.
was.
Fuck you, man.
It was.
You zoomer little bitch.
How dare you to not have any say in when you got born, nerd.
And not get to play some of the greatest Star Wars games of all time. Well, he goes, it's really cool because voices you and what you're doing. I was like, yeah, dude, that's what I was loving when I was playing this game.
And it was just so sick.
Just really disappointing. Like, just absolutely just makes me really hate gaming. But who knows? Maybe in a year we'll be like, hey, now it's really good. Everybody buy it and play it. Like we find ourselves doing a lot of the time. But right now it has mostly negative reviews, which is good. So there is also a ton of other things that the game doesn't have. I have here, teams cannot spawn properly in Conquest or Hero versus. Matches end way too quickly as ticket consumption is drastically increased. Hoth has purple and black textures missing. No inverted controls. Gungan models errors that crash the game. Control mapping complications. Achievements don't work. UI upgrade is controversial, viewed as a downgrade. Story missions are missing cutscenes, incorrect audio output, and no forced team balance. So the list goes on and on.
Goes on and on and on. And it doesn't surprise me. Which is so sad.
I put my hands down in the air sometimes and don't yell AO.
Definitely don't say AO. What a great game to be marred. Come on, man. What's bizarre to me though is they never brought back I forget the game mode exactly. I think it was Galactic Assault, but whatever one in like Star Wars Battlefront 2 where like you both have airship carriers.
Mm-hmm.
And then you fight in space and you can land on the ship and then you go in and destroy the reactors and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Never understood why they never brought that back. Well, no, like, I mean, the originals, but I'm saying the ones
like,
EA
why didn't
made.
they bring it? Yeah.
Yeah, in the new 1 and 2. Again, why could they not just name it something different?
Right.
Because it's Star Wars Battlefront 1, but not that one. Or Star Wars Battlefront 2, but not that 2. Yeah, the other 2.
Like,
the 2 that's not the original 2.
How many people, let's see how many people are playing it right now. If you guys had to guess how many people are playing Battlefront the Collection Edition.
5K. Oh, that seems like a lot.
This must be wrong. Oh, okay. 24-hour peak was 6,700. Right now there are 2,000 players online.
What did you see that made you react
Friday
like that?
morning?
Because it said 0, like until I clicked on it. I was like, no, like. But what's crazy is it has more players than the newest Battlefront 2. The newest Battlefront 2 has a 24-hour peak of 1,300.
Well, somehow more alive than that because they're.
Well, it's funny because about a month ago it was at 800. So I think people played the Classic Edition and went, man, this is so bad. I need to wipe this taste out of my mouth, and went to the other one.
Which isn't bad, but like, man, EA fumbled that so bad. And then Classic thing it came out on, and then by the time they fix it, like years later, and then they're like, all right, well, we're dropping support anyway, and so it's like, wow, what's the point, man? But I think that's also a symptom of today's gaming, where like back in the day when I had this Battlefront 2, I wasn't expecting or planning to get X amount of time out of games. It was just play them to have fun.
Yeah.
And then we ended up playing them a whole bunch. But now everybody has an expectation a game comes out. They're like, oh, I better be able to play this for 8,000 hours. Or like, this better keep me for years.
Well, it's funny you say that because I saw somebody pull up the Steam chart on Pow World. And it was like, hey, guys, remember Pow World? and it was still like number 9 on Steam charts. And it's like, yeah, dipshit. It's almost like it's a survival game, and you just play it until you get to what your end game is. And then guess what? You go and do fucking something else. Like, you
You're
go
done.
and play other games. You know,
There's a meaningful stopping point. The game isn't like, ooh, you're never gonna be satisfied finishing.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, I am trying to have fun in your game. I would like there to be a satisfying place for me to stop. I don't want to feel like I just got edged and now my
Edged and
nuts are sitting there looking blue balled as shit while you're like, oh, you can't stop playing, can you? And it's like, yeah, because you won't let me.
It's like
I'm a
actually
prisoner.
insane to me. Like, he's like, remember Power World? Like, as if like dead game now, Lamau. And it's like, dude, it's still charting at like 120,000 players peak. Like, which
For
is
a game that
insane for survival.
For a game that has a limited amount of content, because it is a literal early access game. Listen. With D2, it's like, I played like 100 hours of that game, unsatisfying 100 hours. Whereas Power World, I played 100 hours of that game. I could be like, bro, that 100 hours fucked so hard. So like, so everyone's like, oh, dude, metrics. Oh, dude, engagement. And it's like, bro, what are you, a fucking corpo freak? Like, shut up. Did you enjoy it or not?
Well, that's the worst part is they've pilled the consumer
Yes,
somehow to worry
exactly.
about that stuff. Like,
it's like they've become so corpo pilled that they start like regurgitating the corpo talking points, and then they're like if you say something bad about anything, then like the response is like, oh well, what's the metrics looking like? And it's like, I don't know, dude, have you ever touched a woman? Have you ever thought about that? How about you think about that, you
checkmate.
sick freak?
That's
So
not your mother.
stupid. Yeah,
Got 'em.
hopefully, yeah, yeah. My mind went to a dark place when you were like,
Mine
when you
that
were
wasn't
like,
where mine was. But
yes, that's my bad. It's early in the
that's
morning,
fair
okay,
though.
dude.
That's fair. That's the
I'll have to find
problem.
that tweet.
And like all the games, that's what they'll pull up the charts of like, well, look at it where it is now. Like, you know what? Like, let's look it up. Let's say,
Oh, yeah, I found the
Cyberpunk
tweet.
2077. Wow, there's only 32,000 people in the game, bro. This peaked at
Dead game.
this peaked at over 1 million, bro.
Yeah, this
Game's falling
single player game that has an ending point. What a trash
dude,
can
what a flop,
game.
dude.
You
Must
guys
suck.
would hate the CS community. Like, CS would be like, guys, only 1.2 million people are playing. It's down from
Yeah,
1.5 million. And it's like,
yeah, that's crazy.
It's time to sell our skins and move on from this game and tell the devs. And like, it's like, are you fucking stupid? Like, it's
so dumb.
like, so
What
someone
is
has
very clearly the biggest PC shooter in the world right now. How about we just kind of like, it's super dead, bro.
So somebody
That's the
goes, so he
dumbest thing
tweets,
is-
remember Power World, question mark? And the guy goes, you mean the game that is still in the top 10 of Steam every day? The game that has limited content and everyone played through the content and slowly phased out as they now play other games? That's like asking why there aren't 1 million players on Elden Ring or Baldur's Gate anymore. Like,
yeah. Which is crazy because Baldur's Gate is still consistently like top 10, top 5 most of the time during the day, which is for a single player like I don't think people realize like how insane.
And then they go, Helldivers 2 costs more money and have been out for over a month. Then someone goes, and gets new content every day through forms of community events and shit. Also, the replayability of Helldivers 2 is 10 times better than Power World. You catch them all, then what? Beat all the towers, build your base, and then done after 102 hours? And Apex Legends is free to play, and it's been out for 5 years. I don't know why they brought up Apex, but that tweet is just so funny. It just shows like you'll never be able to like satisfy gamers. Well,
like they're different. Like it's ultimately different, right? Like I have a start and end point for Power World, and I can have a start and end point for Helldivers as well. But like Helldivers does have steady content coming out because the studio has made it so that's what their ultimate goal is.
It was designed around, yeah.
Yeah, it's a finished game that is like, hey, we got a plan. We made the content for it. Let's roll it out. Let's make it fun, a fun basically D&D session where we're all just living in Joel's world. And Pal World is like it's an incredibly young studio that is saying, "Hey, play our game, see if you like it." Holy shit, you guys
Wait.
really like it. Uh it's different. There's nothing wrong with shit being different, but god damn, stop comparing everything like it's got to be this incredibly high. Oh, we got it. The ratios of the profit margins of the look at these player counts. Oh my god, the revenue is going to be. You're not a shareholder,
Yeah,
bro.
the shareholders.
Why don't you share that touch with another human being? Oh wait, you're
Guys,
alone. I don't
you
know
share
why
that
I'm.
touch with a sight of grace.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm going in on these poor, unfuckable people. I like
Let
they
them have
deserve
it.
better.
The sad part is they're just a byproduct of the world we live in. You know, they're
100%.
victims. They're
It's
victims.
100%. They get it's almost like getting indoctrinated into like the like you guys want to work for a corpo so bad. You guys want this office job. You want it. I bet you want it.
It's like console wars. Where,
Oh
like people will
man.
defend. Like, brother, why do you have? First off, at the end of the day, do you like video games? Then it's a win for anybody when better games get made.
What do you have
Like, I want to see them fail.
what do you offhand have the current sales of the PS5 this current month right now? Like
Yeah, they're like, I
Yeah.
have a couple spreadsheets right here. You know,
actually, the PS5 outsold the Xbox One by about 500,000 units this month, and
but Phil Spencer's penis is about 2 inches larger than the normal
Well,
Sony executive. So,
I'm looking
like,
at
what
this
if
account, and it seems like they're really into Helldivers. So it's almost like he wants Helldivers to do better than every other game. So he's like makes a fake gaming war essentially, and is just trying
that's
to
my liberty, baby. That's my liberty.
just such a weird
It's
ideology.
it's a
Like,
weird hill to die on when it's like, dude, like people are enjoying other things. Helldivers is going to be just fine. Helldivers is eternally going to be one of the biggest games of the year. And with the way things work, if with the way the devs are handling the game, like it's going to continue to be a big game. I mean, for the in the near future, and you know, maybe if the devs with the success they've had, even better content going forward. So everyone has to everyone has to compare shit. I've maybe it's a oh my god, I'm about to go boomer mode.
go boomer mode. It's all
Guys,
nice.
right.
I'm about to
Show
go
your
boomer
age.
mode.
Show your
He
age.
switched. He switched to the flip.
I
Flip
feel
the
like
switch.
as time has gone on, I've just like I just don't care about anything. I just want to enjoy this few little things that give me joy.
The little circle that you have,
The tiny little circle, the very few things in life that give me joy, and I just want to enjoy them. And I don't want to like compare other things to other things. I just want to like, hey, this makes my serotonin brain happy. I'm gonna enjoy it, and I'm not gonna intentionally like compare two things to like shit on another thing. If I wanted to shit on another thing, I could just do that on its own. Like I could just be like,
I just go to the bathroom.
exactly. Like if I wanted to
owned.
badmouth something, I could just say, "Yeah, this sucks." I don't have to be like, well, actually, according to the Steam DB charts, there's more concurrent viewers or concurrent players right now than this dog shit game that you're playing, and you should
And
feel bad
again, that
about
doesn't
playing.
even bring in like the Xbox or console players. You're just taking a small like little sample
Which
size. It's
still blows my mind that people like are out here on Twitter like riding the glizzy, doing tricks on it for like Xbox or PlayStation. It's like, bro, just enjoy your console. Like it's okay. It's like
you know
it's
what
you're gonna
like
be okay.
you know what game like I'm very surprised I always see in the Steam charts. Christian and I think maybe you played it Blue a little bit. Naraka Blade Point like is always in like the top 10 of Steam. Like
China.
Really?
it
It's just
surprises
China.
me that oh is it just China like
Mhm.
loves it.
When if you look at Naraka Blade Point's peaks, it's when it's like midnight, or not even midnight, like earlier for us. Like it peaks when it's
Yeah,
like
3 in the
evening.
morning.
Yeah, like evening time for Asia. Majority of it is China. maybe a little bit of Europe, but yeah, like exclusively China and other Asiatic countries over there holding it down.
I feel like the Melee BR has also been a low key undervalued part of the BR market. So
Underserved. Well, and all of them have been from uh like Korean or Chinese developers. We haven't really seen a Western attempt at a Melee BR, I don't think. There's been
I mean,
something.
would you consider a MOBA BR like that one that's coming back like a
Gigantic? No.
Melee? Yeah, that's not like a
Mm,
Melee BR.
that's more like a
When it's a hero
no.
shooter, it's not just Melee.
Yeah,
It's
it's a it's a lot closer to like like Overwatch meets League style of. I guess the more appropriate comparison is like
it's almost
Overwatch meets Smite.
I would say, and even then I'd say like Paladins. It favors
Yeah.
more of like the
Oh yeah,
stylized,
yeah, yeah.
more arcadey, like Paladins meet Smite. That's more gigantic. Which reminds me, look, we can bring gigantic back. I'm gonna say it.
Oh, we're still on Battleborn?
Where is Battleborn, brother? Come
That
on,
is
resurgence.
that it is pretty crazy that Paragon came back quicker than Battleborn, and Gigantic came back quicker than Battleborn.
I'm convinced somebody is making sure that Battleborn stays dead.
I think
I
it's
don't know.
I think that that franchise got blacklisted not just by like Overwatch. Well, I mean Overwatch probably didn't even. They were like they like stepped over an ant and they're like, ew, what was that?
Yeah, it came out the same day. Like that's so
I
wild
can't
that they
believe
tried
that
to
they're
do that.
breathing the same air as us.
Well,
I think Gearbox was just like, yeah, fuck that. Like moving on, we took that L.
speaking of Overwatch, once again, Overwatch is in a bit of some heat due to a collaboration that Ruben
Yes.
tried to get us excited about. Even put it in our DMs going, yo, check what? I just wanted my friends to play
What?
Overwatch. Like, so the Cowboy Bebop X Overwatch collab had recently just come out. Now you may be saying to yourself, whoa, that's kind of cool. Like a cool anime that I like. Oh my god, I love playing Cassidy or whatever his name is now. I want him. I want the Cowboy Bebop skin. Be prepared just to have a Cassidy or whatever fuck his name is with a stupid black wig and a suit. Doesn't even nearly look like Captain Bebop. I'll have them going through all the skins. And then not only are these skins pretty bad, like I don't think they look very good. I've never watched the anime
Valentina
though,
one's
so.
not that bad. Like the Ash skin isn't that bad, but the Cassie one, the main character, it's like what is?
And
Nobody
they're
greenlit
charging $25 a skin. Just to make you guys know what you can buy for less than $24 or $25, you can buy Celeste, Wild Hearts, In Stars and Times, Little Nightmares, Portal 1 and 2, Hades, Outlast, Doom. You know, there's a lot of games you can buy for less than an Overwatch skin. And it's just crazy. You can buy Helldivers too for less than $25, I think.
No, it's $40. But less than two skins. Yeah. Well, somebody talked about like the whole classic, like the guy looking at this who made the $2.50.
Yeah, I retweeted
living
that.
horse armor.
He's like Oppenheimer.
But then somebody also accounted for inflation, where it's like, okay, that skin today, how much would it be worth? And it was like $3.60. But the skins are $25. Clearly, which also reminds me of like this crazy inflation. Started going back to the gym recently, like this year, and there's always a Chick-fil-A near the gym. So sometimes I'll go there, and I used to feel like a spicy chicken fillet. It's really easy.
Mm-hmm.
And then Claire really likes it, so I usually grab some for her on the way back. Hadn't been there in a while. Literally, I don't know, since like 2020 or 2019 or something. Going through the drive-thru, man. I order an entree, not even a full combo, and one combo. So not even two full combos. And it's like, you're totally be like $24.
You want
Like
to
what?
you want to
What are these
radicalize me?
prices, bro?
You want to radicalize me? Show me the 5-layer beefy commercial back in 2012 and where it says 89 cents. That shit's worth like $4 now. Like, you want to radicalize me? Show me that commercial.
Maybe
And the capital is fucking mine. I'm telling you.
Maybe this is the government subtly making it so then everyone's like, wait a second, for once, eating healthy is cheaper. It's like, I think I could start my own farm for cheaper
Dude.
than some of like the.
And like
insane.
I had the inverse. I don't know, man. It's never have I appreciated groceries more. Oh, dude, you know what is so clutch? Motherfucking Costco, my goat. God,
You
Costco.
gotta be careful though. You can get caught in don't buy the bread. Like, that is what we found out.
The bread is that bread
But
2
they
pack.
have the poppy seed almond muffins.
You gotta eat those you gotta eat all those muffins. You gotta eat one a day every day.
I
from
never
the day
get
you
through all
buy
of
it.
them. I know.
Or you could
at
or you
some
could
point it's gonna grow legs.
I mean, you could freeze them too if you know you're not gonna.
See, I'm not a big freezing bread person.
No, I
find that
agree with you.
gross.
I think
It's
some
not that
people.
bad.
I agree. I think some people go way too hard in the frigid shit. Some people are just like, "Ooh, I'm not better put in the freezer," and it's like, okay, well, John, I now have to defrost it, and now that thing is good as dead to me because I have to go defrost it before I like.
I will say there is a little Costco hack that I have a buddy that works at Costco. So he let me in on this little hack because I literally said, I don't really like freezing the muffins. He says, here's what you do. You get your normal muffins like Christian gets, and then you get the chocolate ones. Now you may be saying, it's a lot of chocolate. Like, I'm all right with that. You put those in the freezer, let them freeze, take them out. He says you microwave it for like 30 seconds. That way, when it comes out, it's all melted and gooey in the chocolate. So, little Costco hack for you. If you ever want normal muffins and then get the chocolate ones and freeze those.
The problem is it's specifically the poppy almond or the almond seed poppy muffin, whatever that's like.
The only one you like.
Yeah, I don't really get the others, but that does sound good.
Yeah, it's not bad. I tried it and it is actually pretty good.
He was spitting.
Yeah, he was spitting. Yeah, but like Blue said, like Sydney and I recently started getting the frozen patties, and like I've learned to like try and make burgers. Like I made like In-N-Out burgers with like it made my own little sauce and whatnot, and I snapped. I snapped. We literally had
Did Rob
serve?
Snap.
Oh, I served, bro.
Did he eat?
Yeah, I served.
Did he leave no crumbs, bro?
A little bit of a In-N-Out sauce, a little bit of ketchup, a little bit of mayo, a little bit of pickle relish, and then a dab of vinegar.
While you're doing it, did you throw the towel over your shoulder while you're?
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
even better.
And then I looked at the thing. I was like, "Shut the fuck up!" I just know that from the bear. Like I've never seen it.
Did he board the last mother copter out of Slay Gone?
Into the Peter copter. I don't know what Blue's talking about anymore.
Was Mom
Peter,
serving proper fanny in a loo?
Yeah, I need somebody to explain. Are you rizzed up? Are you skibbity rizzed right now?
The Slay Shuttle Motherger has consploded upon takeoff. Did he eat contaminated food at the Mother Buffet and had explosive slayeria?
Oh my god, that does give me like.
You're making me feel like a boomer, man.
Did he low key wiretap the Countercratic Party Slay quarters at the Mothergate Hotel?
Have you guys ever had Omega Green poops for like a long period of time?
Good pivot, man.
Well, I just heard you like say diarrhea, and I had diarrhea for 3 days straight, and it was like the greenest poop I've ever had ever. I literally think my body was celebrating St. Patrick's Day, like how excited it was. Like,
have you never had green poops, my man? Like,
well, I have, but like I'm telling you, these were like grass, freshly cut in the summer, green.
Fed.
like yeah, it was.
This was that natural.
Was like, is green poop bad? Like
this is that.
It was like
that
kind of
farm raised
a little bit long. Like it was a little scary,
But you're with us today.
What other topics do we have?
This episode of the GG Over Easy podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. What would you do if you had an extra hour in your day? How would you take advantage of it? Would you try and squeeze something in that you normally don't find the time for? I think everybody should try and find time for some therapy.
If therapy is important to you, then you will find that hour. Therapy can help you find what matters to you so you can do more of it. My time with BetterHelp, they taught me so many things on what matters to me, especially gaming. It was always hard for me to distinguish my work time and gaming time, that I needed to keep gaming my hobby instead of just always having it just be a job. Big shouts out to BetterHelp for that. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Learn to make what makes you happy with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GG today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GG. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this podcast.
Dude, I forgot what topic do we even start from, because I feel
Overwatch.
like we really pivoted to 8 different things, but
We'll pivot to what Mr. Fruit is playing right now on stream. His Elden Ring playthrough.
I'm so
That's right.
hyped.
I haven't been able to catch any of it.
I've been lurking pretty hard, and I have to tell you, it has been so. It's like going into a time capsule where, like, I loved just watching where someone was in Elden Ring whenever I was playing it, and I was like, "Ooh, can't wait to see what they're doing." Ooh, what
I
they're
need
doing.
you to beat it as fast as possible so I don't jack your steez and start playing it as well. Because I think we talked about it. You're like, oh, I'm about to play it. And I was like, oh, sick. So I'm going to wait for you to beat it. And then
No,
I'll
I
try
see.
it.
No. Well, I originally was like, this is going to be for a video. I just wanted to play it as a whole, but I'm going to try and like summarize my entire playthrough in one video. So I'm like, probably don't want this going on too long. So maybe like 50, 60 hour playthrough.
Oh, you're funny.
Ambitious. Yeah, I think I'm almost at 20 hours, and I just beat, I think her name's Renala.
Yeah, you're
it's like,
fucked.
yeah, it's like the third boss. It's like Margit, Godric, Renala.
Now, I have to say, I don't think you're making bad time at all. But
Yeah, I was going to say, you're farther than like I ever got.
But in the sake of not wanting to take over 100 hours, I don't know if I'm, because your boy's been adventuring, to say the least.
I mean, in that game, that's what
which
you're
is
like
great.
supposed to do. Like that game is so
Yeah, it's
awesome
great.
for that.
Finding all this crazy stuff. That's what I like so much about the game is, well, one, especially where I'm at now, you realize, you like truly realize the scale. Like it is massive.
Yeah.
Insane. And it's reminds me of Baldur's Gate, the approach they take where it's like, they're totally fine if you don't find stuff. But that doesn't mean the stuff you won't find they didn't spend less time on. It all feels very handcrafted. Or like, I ended up finding a magma worm, like dragon looking dude. Even just fighting him, I was like, this is just some random boss I didn't have to fight. This dude's got like 30 different moves. He's got a phase 2, just a random open world boss. Like all this love and attention into this one random thing. And then all the other bosses have all this cool stuff and interactions and all the secrets, whether or not I find them. Twitch chat is insufferable.
Yeah. Oh,
Because it's like there's not enough place where I'm like, blind playthrough, no backseating, please don't. I swear to God, every chat.
go back. Like you're missing like one of
But
like.
you should do. Yeah, so like yesterday, for instance, I made it to the academy or whatever where Renala is, and I end up like riding this water wheel thing down to like the bottom of this cavern, and there's this weird looking Iron Maiden thing, like an Iron Virgin.
the classic.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, what the fudge? So I'm like, yeah, fighting it. It's like eating me up. I'm like, what the fudge? Boom, I beat it. I'm like, okay, sick. It doesn't give me any rewards. I'm like, I didn't even get runes. I'm like, what the fudge is that? That's weird. So then I just like, I find a random talisman that like reduces fall damage, and all right, I'm done. And then the chat's like, he doesn't know. Oh, he was so close. Oh, you didn't get the reward. Oh, so I'm like, what the fudge? Like,
So now you're sitting there like, well, now I got to get the reward. Like,
yeah.
You know, just now you feel like you missed out on something when in reality you could have just been playing the fucking game.
If they hadn't said anything, I would have moved on and my life would have been 100% okay. But now it's like, well, what the fudge? What did I miss? So then I'm like looking around, like there's nothing here. So eventually there's like, you just move on. I'm like, whatever, screw you guys. So I move on, but it reminds me of when I started playing Baldur's Gate with Claire. she'd already beaten it, and so she wanted to play with me and see how I played it, and was gonna let me play. So I was like, I don't need your I just want to see the decisions you make.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not kidding you. Like the first decision I'm about to make in a dialogue, I hover over and she goes, and I'm like,
You really want to do that?
I'm like, what? Is that I just didn't think you'd do that. I'm like, what? Okay, why? Why you? What? What's the problem? She goes, well, you don't want me telling you anything.
Well, you already did. Like you
Yeah, so
already
I'm like,
have.
but you see, so then
You
I'm
had
like,
to-
whatever.
You just
So
had to make a comment.
Yeah, so I go ahead, and then she keeps doing this, and I'm like, babe, it would just be so much better if you just didn't
watched.
tell me, or you're just like, you just gotta let it happen.
Well,
Because as
it's
soon as I
almost-
know I missed out, or like I'm doing something wrong, then it's like, well,
It's
now I
almost like
can't just
watching a
make the decision.
movie with someone who's seen the movie, and then they go, "Oh, this part's sick." Like, or hey, really pay attention at this part. Like,
Yeah. And
like,
it's the same thing.
Like,
Where like I would have been totally fine in my playthrough and never thought I would have just made my decision, been okay with it, moved on.
yeah.
But now it's like, well, if you'd done this, you could have gotten this, or you just missed out on some cool loot, or
So
they
did you
would
ever
have come
get the
back in the
award?
story, or
And in
Or,
a
like,
game
did
like
you ever
Elden Ring, it could be anything.
yeah, without. So that's why I was like, you boners. And so for me, I was like, I don't know, maybe it's a cool weapon. So I just moved on. Went through the whole place, beat Renala, and then somebody reminded me, like, hey, you should go back down that elevator. I'm like, oh my God, here we go again.
Opening
like,
this can of
whatever.
worms again.
Yeah. So I was like, fine. So I go back down there, and it does this thing again where it command grabs you. It spams a command grab essentially. Like no iframes, bro. It'll suck you in and then it like eats you up and throws you out. Well, it did it like 3 times in a row where like literally, I'm not kidding you, there was no counterplay. Like it was a command grab, I fall out, I get up, I get sucked back in, I throw out, it sucks me back in, and then I'm like,
And you're
then
dead.
I died. Yeah, and I'm like, great guys, thanks, sick reward.
Thanks. I lost all my souls. Appreciate it.
And then, wouldn't
whatever
you know
runes.
it,
Yep.
I respawn in Volcano Manor in some super far northern town. I look on the map and I'm in Timbuktu. I'm like, what the fudge? So I guess that was the reward. Essentially put me in a
yeah.
zone I guess I shouldn't be in yet. But that's the crazy thing about Elden Ring. Like that was the thing with that specific mob. And had I not known that, and like the first time I would have just killed it and thought nothing of it. And apparently they were upset I killed it because most people die to it first time. So they usually encounter that.
Go to volcano, whatever.
What?
But I was like,
A gamer.
well, no, it's like, when am I ever going to be like not trying to kill something, which is weird. So I was like, sick, I got it. That was crazy. And then everyone was so upset I died. I was like, what the
So
fudge?
now
And then
you're
you
sitting
missed the
there
reward. Yeah.
Like,
So I'm like,
what?
so I was like, what the fudge? So, but there's all those things in the game. So like there was one and it was almost an issue. I found a dungeon. Like I lit up a statue that like points or whatever to like a little mini dungeon. Go into the dungeon. I find the first useful message in Elden Ring. I swear to God, they're all useless. 99% of them. Finger, butthole. Why is it always dung? Dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I hate
And-
the dog one. That one pisses me off as dog.
Dog. Dog up ahead. Therefore
Yeah.
back. Like, and it's just like, what? But there was one where it's like secret passage ahead. Attack. And I'm like, oh. So I attacked the wall, and to my surprise, it was a fake wall. I'm like, no shot. So then I follow it through, and then it turns out there's like a mini boss, like there's like a boss at the end of it and everything. And it's a completely hidden passage. I'm like, what the fudge?
Yeah.
So I do that, beat the boss, come back out, and then I run back through the dungeon to see, and I find like 3 other hidden passages. And I was like, that's crazy, but also now I just roll into every door I see. Because now it's like, well, any of these.
Welcome to
be.
hell.
I know. I was like,
And
I wish
then-
I didn't know.
And then the worst part is there's so many bait of those messages
Yeah.
that like
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna do it anyway, but like I still fuck you for having that power over me. like you don't have any power over me. But yes, I did what
But
you did because I was gonna do what you want me to do anyway. But yes, I did what you wanted me to do. But you suck, man. Like
yeah, exact same way.
I
Where it's like, well, I
remember,
have to try, and of course they're aligned. Thanks for
yeah,
nothing.
there was like a wall. I remember when Elden Ring was like popping off and everybody was like making content on it. I remember somebody hit a wall like for 15-20 minutes, and then finally the wall actually did break because somebody said there was like a secret behind there. So I guess there's a wall that if you hit for a good amount of time, it'll finally open, and I think it's just like a room. Like there's not even
Never done
anything
that.
that's like cool
There's
behind
nothing.
it.
They're like going through the academy. I started finding hidden bookshelves, and I'm like, oh no. Because like it's almost like I'm rolling into things over and over to the point where I'm like, okay, I give up, or maybe there's not anything. And
But what if you
as
give up
soon
right
as I get to
before?
that, yeah, but like as soon as I get to that point, I find another one. I'm like,
it's
fuck.
statistically, 90% of Elden Ring players stop trying when they're about to hit
I said the joke
gold
about
mine.
the miner.
Yeah.
I was like, that's how I feel. Like most people, they mine and mine looking for the hidden passion. Right before they hit the diamonds, they leave. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
so I have to hit every door.
Every gambler quits before they hit it big.
Yeah. But that's the stuff you find, or like, I ended up beating Godric, going out, and then finding like this path. And I was like, where does this go? Turns out it led back, and then I realized you can completely skip Godric. He technically isn't even mandatory. You could just go around the castle in this like secret passage. There's just all this stuff where like almost nothing's really mandatory, and like you can literally approach it however you want.
Yeah.
Early on, I decided, so I spawned in, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna immediately fight the tree sentinel. Fight some things, come back. I immediately fought the tree sentinel. So that took me like the first 45 minutes. Beat that, and then proceeded to also not go to Godric for very long, or Margit for a long time. Ended up going around, and I found this like prison, Eolasco. I have no what the fudge. There's like these
Ayahuasca.
worms, yeah, something like that. Purple worms in a circle, and I was like, "What's going on here?" And you like, and it's like, "Do you want to enter this thing?" And turns out they
Yeah.
were like imprisoning a boss. Fought this dude, and he dropped his sword, and I haven't taken it off. The what is it? Bloodhound's Fang, I think. Dude, thing's crazy. Found that early. I'm like, this is sick.
So you're
And
not
there was
doing a
also more
magic
Unga
build.
Bunga. No, well, that was one stipulation. I do no magic.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't have a problem with it, but from what I can tell, it makes it trivializes a lot of things. And also like in a game like this, when do I ever choose to be like a
Magic.
sorcerer? So it's like
Yeah.
I'm Unga Bunga. So like I find that sword early, and it's funny. People come in. Oh, what build are you doing? What build is he going for? What's his build? I don't know.
This sword is strong.
Strength number goes up, and I get more health.
Well,
That's what I do.
it's like, dude, do you not see like first playthrough? Like, what
Yeah,
do you think
blind.
he's
First
gonna?
blind playthrough. It's just like I don't know what a build looks like. I genuinely like. Aside from
Because that would like takes the fun out
Margit,
of it. It's like min maxing like a build and stuff.
yeah.
When like in reality, I'm playing the game. Like
Well, that was like same thing with Baldur's Gate. So Claire had already played, and so she knew like the build she wanted, and she knew where the items she had to go and what choices to make at certain things to get it. And then she's like, well, because like I had made this decision to, I found this dwarf. We were like sailing in a river in a cave, and he's like starting to like posture, and he's like getting angry at me. And I'm like, screw you, dude. So I push him off into the ocean and kill him.
nice.
Taste.
And turns out he's a merchant and also gives me a really nice bow. Didn't know that. But she tells me that. So I'm like,
Why did you tell me?
so I had to go back a save, go back and keep him alive. Because she's like, that's like Astarion's best bow, or like early game. I'm like, oh God, well now I have to. So then it was like, yeah, you probably like want to look up stuff and where to find them. So I started looking up, and then I'm like, this is sucking the fun out of it.
Yeah. Like
I'm just gonna go, and because like part of it too is like if I know that this quest I'm doing doesn't give me an item I care about, then maybe I'm now less interested in the quest. or I'll make different decisions. So it's same thing, Baldur's Gate, same thing, Elden Ring. Like rather than knowing, because like I went through the academy and explored a lot of the secret stuff I could find, or like went on rooftops to secret places and killed dudes. And what I realized, and it makes sense, it's a magic academy, and almost everything you get is magic based. I'm like, this is all garbage. Had I known that, I probably wouldn't have explored. But I still explored and had fun, but just turned out most of the loot I got wasn't useful for me.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
So
like
I
it's
would have
like
skipped
after
all
the
that.
fact. Like looking up info after the fact, awesome because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wow, like oh that's pretty, oh wow, like well I didn't know that. Whereas like on a first playthrough, it sucks. It's like min maxing before you've even gotten a chance to have your adventure is like nah, don't do that. You're gonna ruin it for yourself so quick. So
Yeah.
And this
That's why,
match.
like, whenever I go back, I'm not. That's why I don't want to watch Christian's playthrough. I don't want to watch anybody else's playthrough. It is just going to be a separate thing. The last time I played it is where I shit my pants or I shit myself and pooped an event. The last time I played Elden Ring.
I remember. But the funny thing too is I have a lot of these backseat Andes. Like, dude, what are you doing? What do you? Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. Then I end up finding stuff they didn't know. Like, oh, I didn't even do that myself. Oh, you could do that? And it's just like, yeah, shut up, man. All right, like,
Enjoy
let
the
me just
ride,
do
all
it.
right?
Yeah, let me just do it and find out myself. And that's what the game's great at. Like, there's just so much. Like, I'm minding my own business, thinking I'm almost done with this place. I find a weird little like temple building. Like, oh, well, what is this? Let me look in this real quick. Oh, it's got a lift. Oh, the lift's going down. It's taking a while. Oh, it's going down and down and down and down and down. Where am I? Suddenly, I find an entire underground world that's completely separate from the upper world and it has a different map.
uh
Yeah. And I'm like, what the fudge? And it's like celestial ceilings and stuff. And I'm like,
and then you
well,
were like shit.
yeah, I'm like, I'm not finishing this in 60 hours. Uh, did most of that area while I could. And like, that's the beauty of it. It's just like, you don't have to do a lot of this, but for me, it's like, I find something I'm like, oh, well, sheesh. I got to check this out. And it's the beauty of getting that like sidetracked where like, I eventually found this dragon recently to get a key, killed the dragon, got the key. And I'm like, all right, sweet. I'm going to go to that gate I need to go to. It's just like sort of around this little mountain. It's north. Well, somehow I found myself southwest and I didn't do any of that. And now I've gotten lost and now I'm fighting a mini boss in front of a tree after I did a dungeon and I found this and it's great. I'm loving it.
Glad you're having
Still
fun
don't know what I'm doing with build, but
outside of the
yes.
backseating, because backseating is never fun. But you know, it's part of the territory. You know, like
Well,
as
this
much
has
as
to
you're
seem
gonna,
like Souls games. Seems
yeah,
like
especially those. Like you're never gonna get away from that. But glad you're
it's a
having
great
fun.
game. Yeah, and I can understand why people liked it so much. I don't know why it took me so long to get to it, but
I will say, I did watch episode 1 of Shogun about 2 days ago, and you're right. Oh, no, I watched episode 2 recently.
but
Of
not the first.
Shogun.
Or you?
No,
Or,
I mean I watched both. Like I
oh,
finished
I
like
was
1 and
like,
2.
oh, interesting choice.
No, yeah. Super sick show.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
excited already. Yeah. Really excited to get into it. Yeah. Very, very
I'm
awesome.
I'm excited, but also sad to know that it's a mini series and only planned to be this one season, and it'll wrap up,
Oh,
which is
really?
nice. Yeah, because like end is in sight. They have a very tight story. They know what they want to do. They're going to deliver on it. But also, I want more. I just want to. There's got to be some more stories to tell, right?
Yeah.
But so like, it's
I'm gonna
nice knowing
commit
we're going to get it,
seppuku
and yeah,
when this ends.
bet like that guy
So
almost did in the water.
yeah. Anybody want to touch on anything else before we start on some Q&A? All right. We got a
Can't
question here
remember.
from Snosbert. Says, Fruit, are you guys gonna watch the Avatar live action? Have you watched it yet?
No, maybe eventually. It's not like I have a lot of shows I want to watch, and that does not jump up the list for me. I think I will eventually. I just recently actually finished Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Been watching
Oh,
that with Claire. I watched the first like 2 seasons when it aired back in like 2012 or whatever, 13, 14, I can't remember. Um, then it fell off. I just got distracted and I forgot about it. But then Claire, it's one of her like favorite shows. So I was like, yeah, we'll watch it together. So we've slowly been watching it because it's 8 seasons. Been watching over the past like I don't know, like half year, and finally finished it. Just depressed, like the big old show hole where it's just like, man, that
Yeah.
was such a good show, and it's over. And to make it worse, Captain Holt, his actor Andrew Bauer, I believe is how it's pronounced, passed away a couple months ago while we were watching the show too.
Yeah.
So it's even
police
sadder,
chief.
like the final, the like final episode, they're all saying goodbye, but it kind of feels like we're also saying goodbye to Andrew Bauer, and it was sad. It was such a good show. So that was nice, but also bittersweet.
Garrett Twin Sons says, I'm getting back into lifting after 2 years off and I'm feeling overwhelmed, specifically by creating a routine. Any recommendations? Also want to say thanks for your guys' glorious content. You guys have helped me through some lows and I'm forever grateful. You sound like you're in the same kind of predicament as I am. For me, it's just getting there. Forget like, I'm doing this today at the gym. I'm doing this today at the gym. I'm doing this today at the gym. For me right now, it's just getting there and like doing some sort of lifts and exercises. And then, eventually that'll get into like, okay, I'm in the gym now. Maybe let's add on like an actual routine of workouts and stuff like that. For me right now, it's just, I haven't done back in a while. Let's do back today. Let's do some back exercises, because I feel like if I do all these, like, if I try and do way too much scheduling and way too much, like, I gotta do this and then this and then this, I'll get overwhelmed and I just won't go. So I think you sound like you're kind of in the same spot as me. Just get there. Just get there. Like after I do this podcast right now, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I get there. I just need to get there. So that's what I would recommend for you. What about you guys?
For me, I've never really built out my own programs. I know some people like to try to do that. That's way too daunting. Even me, when I know all the stuff I like or most of the exercises, way easier to just find a program. And even when I started back up, it was like, start with something easier where it's like 4-day workout program that's like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, something easy. And then for me, it's just a matter of going and listening to my body. So it's like, okay, today is back and bi, and maybe there's 3 backs and 3 bis. Do 1 back, 1 bi. How am I feeling? But for me, yeah, it's not a matter of like something specific. It's just going there, at least hitting the muscle group I want to hit once. And then I see how I'm feeling and go if I want more. But that's how I do it. There's no like crazy, like my current workout is some photos I saved of some random workout I found online, and then it just tells me, and then I go, and then I do what I'm feeling. Sometimes I substitute it for things I want to do instead, or I don't do all of them. It can be much more
Overwhelming,
flexible and malleable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't have to be quite as strict. That's my advice. It's just the same thing with Raj. Just do something. Don't be too worried about the whole view, 'cause
min-maxing.
anything you do is more than yesterday. So yeah, don't min-max like it's Elden Ring.
Yeah, that's real shit. That's very good advice. I just kind of joined a CrossFit gym where we're to class. And that really motivates me because when I go in, I know I'm just doing the same workout with everyone else. So,
They'll
and
just
you have
tell you what to do.
a coach there being like, hey, you're doing this, you're doing this wrong.
I have to ask, Blue. I saw your tweet about your power
Oh,
cleans.
no, please don't.
About his what?
You didn't see his tweet about power cleans? Blue, why don't you explain what happened while you're doing some power cleans? I want to rip open this Band-Aid.
So at my
rip one.
So at my CrossFit gym, there is also a subclass that I've recently joined, which is like Olympic lifting, where
I see the tweet.
yeah, and so it's like a separate class. It's like it takes part in like a different part of the gym, and so you have like these platforms where you have like the Olympic bars, the Olympic weights, and it's like in the it's kind of in the back of the gym, but not totally far removed from the gym. And then like usually it's going on at the same time as like a normal CrossFit class,
Yep.
and so it's busy. It's a busy day. It's a busy day for Oli as well because we have like we usually have like 4 or 5 people doing the Olympic lifting classes, and it was power cleans. It was like complex, so it was it was a basic clean into a power clean, and then we did like a push jerk. Um, well, let me tell you.
Great form, Rob.
Let me tell you. In one of my later sets, I
Break
was
down
really pushing. I was pushing up to like my 70%. Uh, I was pushing up to like my 70%,
and pushing
a-
something else.
and as I'm like hitting one of my last sets. Once again, busy gym. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of a lot of movement going on. As I'm hitting one of my last sets, I go up. My I shoot up. My leg movement insane. My hips, boom, pop out. My form is impeccable.
Hell
Arms
yeah.
come up. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking this bitch up. I got this workout motherfucking on right now. Flip my arms, jump, come back, come all the way down because I'm doing a clean.
Yep.
and as I hit the catch position, right on cue, as soon as the bar lands on my biceps and my chest,
Oh.
It's a rite of passage. Don't worry.
and I'm
We all
sitting
rip
here
'em.
like, no shot. No one heard.
Yeah,
No one
suddenly the
heard
gym is
that.
nothing. They're on.
No one heard that, right? I look over. Literally, the person on the platform to the left just like does like a little giggle, and they're just like, "Dude, welcome to the club." And I was like, "Fuck!" And in front of me, not even like not I wouldn't say 5, like 10 feet in front of me, they're doing the normal CrossFit class, and I'm like, those people absolutely heard me rip ass. I
Maybe they're
continued
like,
my
was that me?
I I continued my set, but as soon as I hit that catch position, it just a rocket came out of my butt. Now it wasn't wet; it was just a normal fart. I would like to say it was
That's fair.
just gas.
Yeah.
I make sure if I'm feeling a little poopy, I don't work out when I'm feeling a little rumble in
That's
my tummy.
that's
Yeah.
good.
That's why I don't work out with a full stomach. I will never go to the gym with a full stomach.
But I gotta
Well-
tell you, I have not felt that like immediately embarrassed in a social situation in probably decades. I was brought back to my high school where I was like, oh my god,
I'm gonna remember this right before I go to bed and not be able to go to bed anymore.
I'm gonna remember this for the rest of my life. Admittedly, as time has gone on, I've realized like, okay, yeah, it's perfectly normal. I'm pretty sure I've heard people fart in the gym, but like I just forgot because it's like, oh dude, yeah, like especially lifting weights, like that's gonna happen.
The
You
only
got
core memory unlocked during that moment is yours. Nobody else. They're like,
yeah, exactly. So
Got a
I was still mortified.
question here from Jimmy. Says ass or boobs? The real question. I'm an ass guy, all right?
I think as time has gone
Personality
on,
too. Sorry.
as
had to say that as well.
time has gone on, I've learned to appreciate all types of cleavage. So I'm a huge boob man. A great year for male female cleavage. Both go so hard this year. So
I think I would. It's a pretty even split, but I'd probably err on the side of boobs.
John Flash says, "What's your favorite Friday night drunk, high, or just gaming food?" We got these. I don't know what it is with the us and pretzels, but Costco has these like cherry or strawberry dipped pretzels.
bro, you gotta chill. Chill.
And they're so delicious. I love them. So I would probably say that right now.
Any pretzel dipped in anything gets me fucked up.
Yeah.
As far as like snacky, I don't really have like a. I usually don't really snack on. I guess one thing that I dangerously had to stop because they were way too good was the chocolate covered almonds from Costco. I I don't do them anymore, but that shit was like I
Okay,
was a
it
dr-
sounds like you're in recovery. Like
I
I
was a drug
don't do it
addict.
anymore, man.
Nowadays, I don't know. I'll just like mix nuts. Um, I've tried to like really like rein in how I eat snackies, so I try to keep my snackies healthy. Now I will say I have a really guilty pleasure, and that is a mozzarella cheese stick just wrapped in just a offhand flour tortilla. If I
That doesn't sound
if
bad.
I'm
As long as the tortilla's good.
if I'm ever like in a pinch and I'm just like I just need to get, dude, I'm not hungry, but like I'm gaming. I'll just throw a little cheese stick in a tortilla and that's it.
Um, I mean, obviously some peanut butter pretzels with honey,
Oh,
with honey, of course.
fuck.
Or just like chocolate bars, like some chocolate bar.
Oh, okay. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, in an ideal world where I don't gain calories, some good corn nuts
I
is
do
is
or I
it
don't.
would be
I'm
it.
smashing a lot. Let me tell you.
You're muted, Rob.
Which corn nuts do you like? I like the ranch ones.
Yes, the ranch ones. Those are my
Oh,
favorites.
love
In an
some-
ideal world where I don't get fat from corn nuts, it would be that's the game night
yeah.
snacky.
Unknown source says, "What lightsaber color would you guys pick for yourself to wield if you could choose any?" I always thought like the black saber with like the white kind of accent around it was
so
always the
gas.
coolest. Yeah, it was always like the coolest color. If I could just have that, it would be that.
I used to say purple, but kind of like orange. Orange is grown on me.
Mm.
An orange saber.
Orange is a gas color, and it's also the complementary color to the color I would pick, which is blue.
Wow.
I
Well, that
am.
would make sense.
Yeah,
You'd
I
go
have
blue.
fitting.
I essentially have a degree in color theory. Do I use it? Sometimes.
We got a question here from Starkin. This must have been before my story. It says, "What pre-workouts do you guys use?" Because this is from March 1st. So this is
Hey.
a week before.
Rob
I don't
uses
use any anymore.
literal.
I
Rob
use,
uses literal fentanyl
you know
for
what
his
I use
pre-workout.
now? I use liquid IV. That is what I drink while I'm at the gym and before the gym. It's just a nice liquid IV. And I use this water bottle. And I don't. Okay, this is gonna sound gross, but trust me, I don't wash this in the dishwasher other than like just kind of going in the sink and then like pouring it out. I feel like my dishwasher makes things taste soapy, especially like with this kind of plastic. So I don't wash this in the dishwasher because I don't want things to taste like soap to me.
Do you at least
Every water bottle
Do you
tastes
hand
like
wash
soap.
with soap?
Do you at least hand wash it
No.
with soap?
No,
You
just
don't
get some
wash it,
water.
you just-
You're just rinsing it.
Yeah, it only has water in it. Like, well, how dirty can it get?
Your lips are touching it, and you
You'd be
could
surprised.
potentially get bacteria on because the moisture from your on the lid can often let bacteria simmer in
Don't
it.
listen to Big Germ, Rob. All right, you're building that immune system.
My
King.
bad.
You're building that immune system. Yeah, that's right. You're building the tolerance. You're tough. You're built for tough. Germs can't hurt you.
I mean, you're probably fine, but at the same time, like, come on, bro. You gotta at least like once a week give it a good wash.
Yeah, I mean, but like, I don't want to take like, every other water bottle I've had just starts tasting like soap.
For audio listeners, this dude literally looks at me like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "Nah, I definitely don't clean this shit once a week."
Stop that.
Just give that water bottle a rim job.
I didn't want
to. Nobody really uses pre-workout.
I use Nocos whenever I do pre-workout, but
okay,
not all the time.
I think we talked about it last week. Whenever I had my story, I think Christian, you use like just advanced GG if there is anything you do use.
Yeah.
Esquire Jaeger, appreciate your activity in the Discord, by the way. Says, since I know Fruit loves the Dune movies, have you seen the 1984 version of Dune?
Dune your mom.
Fucking owned.
Neither. No, and I don't really have any interest. I like the way they told the story. Like I don't need to see how they did it. I don't know. Maybe one day, but I don't really have any interest right
now. We'll have this last question here from Ronfell. Says, what's your favorite Pokemon location? IMO, the best is the Giratina dimension. 10 Carat Hill. Cue the music.
That makes sense. I expect nothing less.
Favorite Pokemon location? Sheesh.
I did think in Heart Gold, Ho-Ho's like the top of the thing where you go for Ho-Ho was pretty cool.
Or whatever. Favorite look.
I have seen Giratina's dimension though. It is pretty cool.
This is tough, dude. Holy.
It's so vague. I can't even think. I'm just blanking on everything.
I'm trying to go like Gen to Gen.
Place.
I was thinking of
that. Where you see Arceus.
No, that place is overrated.
Celebi in like the little forest.
Yeah,
Mew
really
underneath the truck.
That.
You know, there's Mew
underneath. That's not real. That's still not real.
That's what they want. You just did it wrong, Blue. It is.
Okay. All right, my bad.
You just you didn't up down enough, and then you surf from the wrong pixel. But
hey, that's on me. That's my bad.
You have to change the battery clock.
Okay, my favorite spot. Okay, it's not in Gen 1. It's not in Gen 2. Not in Gen 3.
Battle Frontier Pokemon Emerald.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
Banger. Specifically the Seviper. I don't remember what that one was called. But
I think it's got to be Area 0 for me from Scarlet Violet.
Which one is that?
It's where you find all the Paradox Pokemon. It's like the very center of the map, and it's like completely different. And
yeah, I actually think it's Area 0. I think that's the hardest they've cooked on a location in a really long time. And like looking back, I guess it just gives me like a level of wonder that I haven't had in a long time from a Pokemon game. So like I went into Area 0 and I was like, whoa, I do not know what to expect from
here. I would also add in Sword and Shield, your beginning route. And
what a great starter route. Yeah.
The city with the mushrooms. Just vibes. Very cozy.
That was really,
I really like those.
That mushroom place was like, okay, this is why the 3D Pokemon is gas.
Yeah.
Like if they pull more stuff off like this, like
then I went back into the wild area and I'm like, oh, I'm back to reality.
Oh, and here we
go. Well, that'll do it for the GG Over Easy podcast. Thank you guys all for chilling and hanging out today. Blue, thank you for sharing your traumatic story about your fart today. I know that was a lot
for you. So
appreciate you doing that. We will be back next week for some more talking and some more gaming. Peace out.
See.